Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi and today we're doing another pick a card. Today's pick a card, we are going to be taking a look at who your spirit guides are or what spirit guides are currently around you. I've mentioned in a couple of my videos that in regards to our spirit team and our spirit guides, we can have guides that come in for a certain amount of a certain amount of time even, and then they'll leave when they feel like their work for that particular journey that you're on is done. And we'll always introduce new guides and have certain beings that are around us stronger, sometimes more than most, and other times we'll have certain guides that are with us through the whole duration. So I just wanted to tap into you guys' collective and really show you what energies are around you, looking out for you, why they're around you, and what they're actually guiding you with right now, which is going to be interesting and I'm excited to do. So we have 4 crystals for you guys to choose from. The first crystal is the garnet. The second crystal is the pyrite. The third crystal is the green calcite. And the fourth crystal is the amethyst apple. So see which crystal you are drawn to. The timestamps are going to be in the description box as usual, and I will see you guys at your timestamp. Hey Pal One, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at what spirit guides are around you right now and why they're around you. You guys chose the garnet crystal. I'm going to pop this up in the corner and we are going to get straight into the reading. I'm going to start with tarot as always, and then we'll move on to your oracle cards. So I'm going to start with tarot. Let's get in. Spirit guides, tap me into the collective of my pile number ones, please. Tap me into the collective of my pile number ones. Before I even get into like the spirit guides that are around you right now, I'm literally being shown like I'm being shown your energy and what a lot of you guys are going through right now, and I'm being shown like an egg, right? And it's like an egg, and it almost looks like a boulder, and then there's like cracks in it, and it's being cracked open to see inside. And you know, like when you crack a crystal and you open the inside and the crystal is like glittering and gleaming and all of that, that's what I'm picking up from you guys, pile number one. Like there's a process right now in your collective energy where what you're going through right now is waking up to your power, waking up to who you are, and shedding the layers and really opening up to your soul. That's a process that I'm being told you're going through right now, and it almost feels like an initiation. We'll get into it because I feel like that's something that I feel like your spirit guides are going to want to talk about. But there's something about that. I'm almost being shown like holes in this egg or holes in this boulder and bits of light not shining in, shining out. You know what I mean? Like that's how it's coming through. The fog is clearing around it and there's light shining out. And I feel like either it's a process that's happening in this lifetime or it's a process that's just happening right now. An alchemization from the inside out, not the outside in, is what I'm being told. So that's really interesting and how I was shown that. But that came through. So what spirit guides are around my pile number ones? Please, spirit guides. Tap me into the collective of pile number one. What spirit guides are around them right now? There's always a pile where I'm like literally shown Egypt and the pyramids, and I'm just really taken to that time, especially like ancient Egypt, and it takes me to like the third eye, the crown chakra, and I'm just really being taken there straight away again. So I feel like you're that pile that comes up for. If not, I just see that essence within you, like there's a correlation with your spirit guides to ancient Egypt or to around the Egyptian times, because I'm being told that there's either one or two or even a couple, there's like a few beings around you that would have incarnated with you around that time or would have guided you in that time, that are guiding you in this lifetime. And it's really coming through, and the aura of it is like a dark purple. It's like a dark blue, dark purple, very gentle but very intelligent, very connected to both sides of themselves, like the masculine, the feminine. And I feel like they're coming through it because I just feel like you're being initiated, and I feel like that's what they're initiating you through, is some sort of an awakening or some sort of transmutation within, to tap into more infinite knowledge that has been residing in you. It's just now coming out, and I feel like they're initiating you into that, and that's why they're around you. birds are really strongly coming through, and not just any type of bird. Like, I'm literally being shown, like, what are they called, parakeets? Like, I'm being shown that, and parrots. Like, I'm being shown all types of birds. What's the bird that, like, is native to, like, Rio? There's, like, a bird, and it's really beautiful. I'm being taken to that sort of bird. I'm also being told ravens. Like, I feel like birds are your totems right now. And they're coming through really, really strongly. All right? At least I feel there is symbolism for something that you're going through. And at least a symbolism as well for your spirit guides that are around you right now. In regards to starseed wise, you may be connected to Arcturians or blue avians. That's something that's coming through. I find that blue avians will come through. They'll either come through in bird form, or they'll just come through as a ball of light. Whereas Arcturians will come through either like alien looking or with like bird features. So it could be either or. But that's something that's coming through as well, if that resonates with you. Pile number one, please, spirit guides. What spirit guides are around my pile ones and why? What spirit guides are around my pile number ones and why? If you guys feel in this lifetime connected to, if you believe that you're on like a twin flame journey in this lifetime, or you just feel like there's a divine counterpart and you're not with them, but you've always kind of sensed someone like in a romantic sense, I'm here to kind of confirm that in a way, whether you believe in twin flames or not, whether you resonate with that or not, whether you just look at it as divine counterparts, it's coming through like there's a significant soul that's guiding you that almost acts as like the yin yang to you, even though you are yin yang within yourself. That it's like they're a part of you. It's almost coming through like if you are really embodying the divine feminine in this lifetime, they almost feel like they're the masculine side of you as like another soul. And if you were embodying the divine masculine in this lifetime, it feels like they're the divine feminine. I'm not even picking up like an energy like that coming forth. They just feel like a complete reflection of you. And I feel like I don't know whether what I'm picking up is twin flame energy or whether it's just like a strong divine counterpart, but there's a soul that it almost feels like in a romantic sense, but not just like romance, like sacred, like there's like a sacred connection. And I feel like there's a being like that around you really strongly, walking with you as well and protecting you. I don't know whether they've incarnated on earth. I'm not getting a yes or a no. I feel like that's something that your soul will develop and understand at a later date, so they're telling me to leave that alone, but their soul is protecting you and around you as part of your spirit guides as well, because I feel like you are implemented like within each other. And when we look at, the only way I can explain that is when we look at our souls, the higher up through the realms we go, we kind of mesh together. What was once a tribe is now a higher being, all collectively meshed together with that higher consciousness. So it's like, I find with soul tribes and soulmates and twin flames, they're all of the same because they're reflections of us, and the higher up we go, we kind of mesh into each other until we become the infinite that is the universe. And I just feel like this person's very, when I find divine counterparts and quote unquote twin flames or whatever you want to call it, I feel like they're close to that unison of the souls kind of like mashing together with that wisdom. So it kind of feels like that. I hope that makes sense to you. But that's just what I'm picking up. Like there's just this one particular being that's around you. And with the cups here as well, like I feel like you're integrating right now. And I think that's why this being's around you, because I feel like you're integrating your own divine feminine with your own divine masculine right now. And I feel like that's what these beings are walking you through. We'll get deeper, but that's just something that's coming in. And we literally have a bird here. We literally have the bird. Are these going upright or upside down? They told me to keep these upright for today, so we'll keep them upright. Seven of Swords. I found lately, like I've always been I've had a heavy opinion of reading reversals because they bring more energy, whereas Spirit's like, you'll read the yin and the yang from them anyway, just put them upright and you can read both. And I'm like, okay, I'll do that. And I was talking about like alchemizing, and we have the magician at the back of the deck as well. So I do feel like that's what there's almost like a mastery that you're reaching that I feel like you already would have reached in other lifetimes. It's just like an initiation in this lifetime. So that same set of souls that would have been your mentors or even been going through that initiation with you in other lifetimes, it's like they're with you now as you do it in this physical incarnation. I feel like right now you're cutting out a lot of distortions with the Seven of Swords and the High Priestess, because when they did flop out, they were almost upside down, not fully, but almost upside down. So I feel like you're coming into a state of awareness right now, and this is what your spirit guides are telling me. You're coming into a state of awareness right now where distortion really lays, with the High Priestess almost being upside down and the Seven Swords almost being upside down. It's like realizing that through suffering becomes awareness, and through that awareness the suffering dissolves, because nothing can distort our own being when we are in our power. But if it wasn't for the distortion in the first place, we wouldn't know where there was a lack to shine our light on it. And I feel like that's something you're learning. I don't know whether you're coming out of a dark night of the soul, or you're coming out of a period of shadow work, or coming out of just one phase of your life, but there's a heightened awareness of what dark and light really is, and there's a heightened awareness. I just got shown like a beautiful being looking at me smiling, like yeah, like thumbs up, smiling at me, like keep going, coming through. So I'm like, okay, thank you. But that's what I'm being told, like you're tapping into the infinite at a deeper level. I feel like you're on a new journey, but it's a journey of the old in a way. And I feel like when I was being shown that boulder or that egg with the light shining from inside out, I guess maybe the egg was the distortion, and your light shining out and cracking it out to reveal that crystallized infinite wisdom within, and it's shining out, and it's part of the process. And I feel like you're coming into a state of awareness of that now. I do feel with this energy, pal number one, that you are here to lead with alchemy in some sort of way in your lifetime, because, pal one, the fact that you are dissolving such heaviness with the Seven of Swords and such darkness, and alchemizing it to light and realizing you are the infinite. To do that, it takes a lot of strength. And to do that, there's usually a mission behind that, of maybe teaching others to do it or releasing a lot of karma. And I feel like that was part of your mission. And I just feel like when we learn those lessons, it's because we're walking the walk so we can talk the talk later on. So I feel like a lot of your mission may be to help others out of dark places, out of distortion, out of their own dark nights, and out of their own illusion of disempowerment, to then become empowered. I feel like that's a mission you've undertaken, so that you can find your own light and the infinite wisdom within you, or enough at the level that you're at to teach others. Because infinite wisdom is what it says on the box. It's infinite. We're not going to know the ins and outs of the universe in this lifetime, but we'll reach different layers and different levels of consciousness in this lifetime as we tap in more to it. And I feel like you're on a new level of tapping into more wisdom with deeper understanding, because you've been through that distortion. And I feel like these spirit guides are around you right now are initiating you out of this alchemization, so that you can stand in your power to either relay messages or just be a byproduct and a light for maybe other people. And that doesn't have to always be in the quote unquote spiritual way of, okay, I'm going to be a Reiki master, I'm going to be this. If that doesn't resonate with you, that can be through art, that can be through music, that can be through comedy, that can be through paintings, that can be through creation, whatever it means for you. That's something that I'm being told. So these, can you tell me more, Spirit, about like the spirit guides that are around my pal number ones? Like, can you tell me more? There's a strong connection to Atlantis. I feel like you would have had lifetimes in Atlantis, or you would have at least assisted in Atlantis, or maybe you're around at the fall of Atlantis. When we even look at the fall of Atlantis, there was a lot of darkness that took over, where people were in their power. They distorted people's sense of worth and who they were and their power, so that they could gain, which then led to the fall of Atlantis. And like we know, like history, it repeats itself, and I feel like you've kind of incarnated to make sure that people are not being disempowered in this lifetime. I'm also being taken to Lyra, Lyran Starseed, so maybe you would have incarnated at those times, like with Lyran Starseeds, where Lyra was taken over, and Lyra fell, and I feel like it's part of your mission to keep people in their power, and that's something that you're learning. I feel like these beings have something to do with it, because I feel like they have been a part of your tribe from like eons and eons and eons ago. Like that's how it's kind of coming through. I also want to say that with you, they'll be telling me, they're showing me your hands, right? And they're saying you have the alchemist touch. And by that I mean, everyone you meet, everyone you talk to, everyone that you are around, just by touching them, you alchemize them in some sort of way. And just by touching them, you're also alchemizing by learning through them. I feel like you are very connected to the higher realms, like the angelic realms, because of the way that like the physical body, you're even looking at the physical body like your higher self is, like it can be alchemized. It can always be alchemized. A lot of Scorpio 8th house Plutonian energy coming through. Everything can be alchemized. So you're looking at life naturally as like a higher realm. Nothing's really concrete. So I feel like you're always reinventing yourself or going through this metamorphosis, and I feel like that triggers a metamorphosis in other people, even if not right in that second later on. And I'm being told you have the alchemist touch, and I feel like you're going to go through, and you already have been through many transformations in this lifetime, but you're continuously evolving. I feel like it's quite rapid as well, but there's a message from your spirit guides that you're not just metamorphosing, you're not just alchemizing the spirit within you, you are alchemizing the physical world, the material world. You're finding mastery over that and alchemizing. Apologies for the rain, I hope it's not too loud for you guys. But there's a lot of alchemization that's going to go on in this lifetime, and you're going to realize how strong you are and how powerful you are and how you can work with energy like that. And that's a strong message from your spirit guides. What else can you tell me about the spirit guides of my pal ones, please? What else can you tell me about the spirit guides of my pal ones? Can you like give me any other indications of like what they're doing, why they're here? It just, they keep taking me to Egypt, and like they keep I find that the higher up you go, like with certain beings, it's like they alchemize their own darkness and then their own light to have a greater understanding. And I just feel like while that's happening in the higher realms, I feel like you're here to be a advocate of that in the physical world, and that they're referencing dark needs light, light needs dark. You're transmuting distortion, because really there's no such thing as dark and light, it's truth and distortion. And we need to understand the distortion and where there's cracks in the foundation to bring light to it. So if there wasn't distortion in the first place, we wouldn't know where there were cracks. So I feel like you're kind of a seed being planted then of I feel like you've worked through like generational karma, or gone through a lot to alchemize it, to kind of be a leading example of that metamorphosis that is happening in every dimension. And they keep referencing that, and that's something you're learning while these lights are shining out of this rock or this egg. And I feel like that's what they're guiding you with right now. They keep taking me back to it, and whenever I'm tapping in, like, can you tell me about these beings, they keep showing me Egypt. There's almost this feeling of like we're either learning it too simultaneously. I mean, time doesn't exist, so I guess they're learning it too. But I don't know whether they're referencing that like right now in this incarnation they've incarnated too, or whether they've just done it in other incarnations and you're also guiding them in other incarnations. Like, it almost feels like that, but it feels like a proper little pod around you of these kind of beings. Yeah, and there's this metamorphosis just going on. They keep referencing that's where you're at right now. It's a metamorphosis. There's shifting happening. This is what we're guiding. We're guiding through that. You know what I mean? We're helping their smoke and mirrors clear. Like, that's kind of what we're doing. So that's why they're around you right now. I want to pull some oracle cards and get deeper, of course. So let's pull some oracle cards. Pile number, they're here to help. I feel like they're going to be with you your whole incarnation, because they're telling me they're here to help you attain true mastery in this lifetime. So say now, so far in your life, you've been very emotionally abundant. You've been so open in your heart chakra. You've had this abundance of love. As you're balancing that out now, they're saying now it's time to master the physical world and maybe manifest abundance, or bring, you know, work through the physical and maybe like herbology and things like that. Or maybe it's time to connect now with Mother Gaia and learn a sense of mastery of your connection to Mother Gaia. Like, there's this energy of like you're doing a lot of things in this lifetime, not just one. That's why you're always alchemizing. So they're always around you really strongly when you're going through these shifts of like, okay, I feel like there's something you've mastered. Whether it's with the cups, it almost feels like emotional abundance and balancing that out of giving and receiving. That's how it feels with these cups being here. So now you're alchemizing again to master something else with the knowledge of emotional intelligence with you in this lifetime. So it's like, now I'm going to go and master again, physical world, or like maybe the mental state. Maybe you're moving into like psychology and understanding the mental brain. They're not giving me too much of an answer to what you're now shifting to, because they keep saying your intuition is guiding you the whole way through. So to not pull the cover off, let you guys do that. So I'm not going to give like a specific answer. And as well, this is a general reading too. This is a lot of you. It's going to be different for you all, but it's a process of listening into your intuition of like, where are we mastering now? What are we doing now? And listening to your heart and listening to your intuition to guide you there. And I feel like they're walking with you and dropping little breadcrumbs. But you know, when they show me breadcrumbs, they're showing me like a forest, but instead of dropping breadcrumbs, it looks like little amethyst like crystals and like bits of moldavite. That's literally what it looks like, and they're dropping it on the floor. So I love how they're like zhuzhing it up. It's not breadcrumbs, it's like, you know, stardust. Literally, that's kind of what they're dropping on the floor. I love that. Pile number 1, please, spirit guides. Pile number 1. What spirit guides are on my pile ones and why? Platypus. Stop complaining and focus your attentions on the blessings in your life. Okay. I'll pull one more and then I'll channel for these 2 cards. Just pull one more card. Pile number 1, please, spirit guides. What spirit guides are around my pile number 1s right now? What spirit guides are around? Oh my god, your cards are leaping. They're jumping out. What spirit guides are around my pile number 1s right now and why? Oh, let me go get them. There's 2 cards that's fallen, so I'm going to use them. And of course we have a little birdie. We have the falcon. Act on the opportunity that's before you and commit to it without equivocation. I've never heard that word in my life. Equivocation. Never heard that word. I hope I didn't butcher it. What's the next card that we have? The cheetah. Get clear on your intentions, stay focused, and move quickly to achieve your goal. Okay. Get clear on your intentions, stay focused, and move quickly to achieve your goal. What's the first card? Platypus. Stop complaining and focus your attention on the blessings in your life. Okay, so they're letting me know, it's almost like they're taking me back to the egg analogy now, right? And I'm almost being shown somebody sitting in this egg, or this concrete egg, and it's like, I keep hearing as without, so within. There's someone in this egg, and then they're looking out at other, how do I explain this? Oh my god, this is so hard to put into words. Let me just try and get this into words. Spirit guys, can you help me put this in like a humanly term to actually get it out, that I can make it make sense and don't butcher it, because this is really profound and I don't know how to put it into words. Okay, bear with me as I try and explain this. So, you know, I was talking about what looked like a geode, like a rock or an egg, and then inside is this crystal, right? You've always seen beyond the outside rock and the outside egg of other people. Because of how deep you are, you've always seen the potential and the crystallized existence of others. You've been able to see through their cracks and see that crystal energy shining through. You've always been able to do that. Whereas because you are looking at them from inside your own egg and inside your own geode, you were seeing the beauty of the world outside. You were seeing the beauty of other people because you were seeing beyond what they are. But you weren't seeing the beauty and the empowerment of what you are because you were always kind of like stuck within. And now that this crystallized part of you is like shining out and shining out and coming out, what I'm being told is, with the stop complaining and focus your attention to the blessings in your life, it's like, how do I put this in the words, Fred? How do I put this in the words? It's like you're shedding the distortions that kept that crystallized part of you hidden and realizing that you were that crystal all along. And the reason you were able to see those crystallized parts of everybody else was because you were that crystal all along. And it's a transmutation that's happening bit by bit while your own geode is kind of being cracked. Because when you look at this garnet as well, when you look at garnets, they don't normally look like that when you purchase them. This is like a kind of raw stone. And normally when you buy crystals, whenever you get a geode, like when you look at like the clear quartz on the outside, it just looks like this little white thing. But when you go inside, that's where the crystal is at. So there's like a reference of you like shining that crystallized sense out that you saw in other people anyway, but now you're shining it out because you see it in yourself. People could see it in you, but now you're seeing it in yourself and you're shining it out. And there's that geode doesn't just stand for like your own beauty, your own light. It stands for your own infinite wisdom that is now being shot out from you as you crack these distortions open. And I feel like a lot of your life is you doing that, which is why you're always alchemizing. Because a new part of you is being revealed. That's why you chose the garnet. So with this card here, focus your attention on the blessings of life. It's like there's a reference right now from your own spirit guides to honor your being. And whether it's like a gratitude list of self, but really looking at all those parts of yourself that you love, because I feel like you're a bit of a mood booster. Like you could sit and tell everybody like the greatest parts of themselves because you see. So there's almost this feeling of either looking in the mirror or just looking back at how far you've come and going, oh my God, like you're actually really strong. You're actually really, like you're a good singer. You're really creative. You're actually really cool at this. And even looking in the mirror, like you have beautiful eyebrows. You have a beautiful face structure. And seeing that beauty within, and recognizing it within yourself, that you are this geode, and even just the wisdom you have within you, the infinite connection to source that you have within you, like recognizing that. There's almost a sense of like your spirit guides wanting to honor your being more. And that's a reference that telling you to do, because the more you go inward and the more you honor your being, the more you're clear in that smoke and fog because you're understanding who you are. And by honoring our being, it's not just the light attributes, it's the darker attributes too, because by honoring them, you're understanding them. You're understanding where certain weaknesses are, because without your weaknesses, you wouldn't know what your strengths are, you know? Without your shadow self coming out and maybe doing things that maybe you may look back and regret, you wouldn't have known where there was a lack of something to then be able to transmute it. So we love our shadow and we thank our shadow because it got us here to being whole. So there's a reference of just honoring every part of you, you know? Realizing even just your physical body, like you're a temple, and honoring that. So that's a strong message from your spirit guides right now of realizing you are this geode and looking at the crystal within and looking at all of that. And shining it out, because beyond these physical vessels, it's just the abundance of source. And even these physical vessels are temples. They're a connection of source. They're a reflection of Mother Gaia that was created by source, God, the universe, whatever you call it, and realizing the infinite beauty of you. And I feel like that's something that you're developing and understanding on a deeper level right now, and that's something that they're guiding you through. With the Falcon, act on the opportunity that's before you and commit to it without equivocation. I feel like you're being initiated right now as well to all your quirks and creative ideas and parts of your humor that make you individual. There's a sense of kissing them. Like, that's what they're referencing. Like, yeah, again, it's like the thumbs up, like, yes, yes, yes. Like, maybe you've been, I feel like maybe in the past, you might have been shunned and hidden parts of yourself that was so magical. And right now it's a sense of bringing them back out and kissing them, and it's kind of like hello again and bringing them back. Like, and we talk about soul retrieval in the Alchemist sense of like bringing the wounded parts of us back, but what about bringing the weird and wonderful and magic parts of ourselves back? I feel like you're in an alchemization right now of bringing the wonder back, bringing that inner child back that just love to sing and dance and go into nature and have sword fights with like thin air, but it wasn't thin air, it was, you know, like an opponent or something. Like, bringing those quirks back. And maybe you used to wear like really out there outfits, and through that part of transmutation you feel like you've lost that part, but you haven't. That was a magical part of you that you're just finding a deeper connection with, because when we go through a transmutation, the light and dark will dissolve to a fundamental truth, and then we build it back up. And I feel like what you're learning right now is to bring that magic of every day, magic of your own personality, your own humanness back, because being a human is magic. I love to go to like I used to love what, especially when I used to work in like what I guess like in America you'd call like a Walmart sort of thing, and I used to work on the makeup and the clothes, and I used to love to like people watch and watch like people's quirks and the way they dressed and just their individual personalities, because we forget, even though we are infinite, we're experiencing life as an individual, and that's magical and really cool and fun. And I feel like that's something that you're learning right now, and it's something that you're understanding right now, the quirkiness and coolness of you just being your authentic self and liking certain music and liking certain clothes and just being human. I feel like bringing the magic back to just being human is what you're doing right now. I feel like that's something that you're doing. I feel like you've waded through a lot of your darkness until there's literally just a shell left, and now it's like opening up that and seeing the magic and even these bits that have fallen away. That's something that you're doing right now. And with the cheetah card, get clear on your intention, stay focused, and move quickly to achieve your goal. Again, it's more so like I did a tweet the other day, and I was talking about the present being right here. When we want something else and we desire for something else, we look at it like it's beyond us. So we're always chasing this golden path, forgetting we are literally the golden path, and that the success that we're trying to reach, it's happening in the present moment. So there's this essence of like realizing the magic of right now in the present moment, and I feel like your spirit guides are walking with you and helping you bring back the magic to the present moment right now. So you may be looking at life right now a little bit drab, like nothing has meaning, and I feel like what you're learning to do, and it's normal, because going through a transformation like I feel like you've done, everything has it's just lost its meaning, but it lost its old meaning. There's a new meaning that you're now about to bring to it. So right now you're looking at a black and white drawing that hasn't been coloured in yet, forgetting that you are the one that creates the magic, and all of these colours are actually within you, and you can choose to like colour them in whatever colour that you want and bring a new meaning to them with this new wisdom that you have. It's an adventure. That's what your spirit guide said. It's an adventure. That's what you're on right now. This is fun. You're bringing colour back, you know? I just heard I'm bringing Sexy back by Justin Timberlake. Like, that's what you're doing. You're bringing meaning back. So if things are feeling meaningless, it's because the old meaning died. The colours within you, paint it whatever colour you want. Bring that magic back to it. Sit with it until you find meaning with it. And if you don't feel like sitting with it, find meaning in something else for now. And that's something that I feel like you're learning. What's the back of the deck before I pull your ancestor card? We have Humpback Whale. Music. Music is essential to your healing and well-being, whether singing, playing an instrument, or listening. I feel like the key for some of you guys may be in music. I feel like some of you guys transmute through music. I was having a download the other day about how music really is such a beautiful expression. Even when we look at like music that we may seem as like dark. Like I was listening to a breakup song, and I used to listen to these really heavy breakup songs, and I went through a phase where I was like, that's such a low vibration, but that music helped me heal in that time period because it gave me resonance with what I was feeling, and it was an expression of art that helped me understand my life right then. So there's this feeling of like maybe losing yourself through music, or even creating music to find new meaning in something, to bring new meaning in something. There's something about music with you and the way your brain, the way it activates not just your brain but your own being. I feel like for eons and eons, like every lifetime that you've had, a sense of music has activated your being to bring magic to something. So there's an essence of maybe a key to bringing wonder back into your life, maybe through music. So if you're feeling really called to just listen to music right now, make playlists and stuff, 100% do that. It may not just be music, because there's a lot of you watching. It could be art or anything like that, or just literally simply being people watching, going shopping, like whatever it is that could bring you some magic right now and make you see just the wonder of just being in the moment. I feel like that's something that would really aid you, because everything's art if you look at it through the eyes of an artist, you know. So that's a reference coming through, and you're a very magical being, so everything's magic if you're looking at it through the eyes of a magical being. Like that's the reference that they're giving me. Like you know, everything's connected to Gaia if we're looking at it through the eyes of Mother Earth. Like that's how they're referencing it to you. So what are you, and how are you looking at life, and like apply it to that, you know, because I feel like you're very creative. So if you're a very creative being, look at the creations around you, whether it's man-made or whether it's not human-made, whether it's created by Mother Gaia, whether it's created by the animals and Mother Gaia, and like the nests. I seen a little bird's nest the other day and I was like, whoa, art. So, you know, even that, just like let the world show you its magic right now, is a message from your spirit guides. I guess the collective of spirit guides around you very heavy is your tribe that is coming through very starseedy. That's how it's coming through. And even if you don't relate to starseeds, it's a collective of souls you would have had many incarnations with, specifically in ancient Egypt, really being taken there. I keep hearing Ethiopia as well. I keep hearing that, but I'm just really being taken there. Really, really strong. Pile number 1. And I feel like if you've watched my other readings and I've referenced Egypt a lot, I guess that's your spirit guide's way of saying, we're here, we're with you. This is your pile, and a confirmation whenever I mention Egypt and Black Rose, because there's always a pile where that'll come through straight away. And I think that's them like, this is your pile, this is for you. Pile number 1. What spirit guides are around my pile number 1 and why? Very deep journey you're on. Like path of the alchemist, like tenfold, you know. We have the Druid, hold the space. Hold the space. I just feel like I want to tell you to either walk into nature or walk into a busy city or walk into or go onto a beach, or even just be around animals. Don't project, just watch. And watch the humans be human, the art be art, the trees be trees, the ocean be ocean, the animals be animals, and watch. And look at the meaning through their eyes and what meaning they're bringing to it. And just watch and see what comes to you. What does that mean to you? Even to the simplest thing, like a crystal in front of you. What does that crystal represent? What does it mean? What can I feel from it? What does it mentally mean to me? Maybe you're feeling disconnected from Mother Gaia right now. Get out into nature, get your feet on the ground and be like, what do you mean to me? What do I feel from you? How do I connect to you? What's this new connection to you? Because you've been wired into different paradigms your whole life as you've transmuted, but you're at this point where your spirit guides are almost giving you the plugs to wire yourself back in. Like, here's all the plugs. you choose where you want to be wired in right now for this next journey. You pop them in. There's a sense of that, like flexibility, and you decide this meaning, because it was always you deciding the meaning anyway, but you're becoming more conscious that you're deciding the meaning. Because you may be thinking, why is everything black and white and grey right now? Why is everything colourless? That happens when there's a transmutation, but it's colourless for you to give it colour. Because even when you were first born, you gave your life colour, but now you're consciously aware that you're giving it colour. So you're almost waiting for something that was an instinct, but because you're aware of it, it's like, oh, it was always me. It was always me telling me my worth. It was always me choosing love. It was always me working with my heart. That was my choice. That was me. That was my soul. It was me saying that this was bad and this was good. That was me. What's my new meaning now? Very insightful time, you know. We have the shaman as well, trust in higher forces, and we have an owl up here, so another bird coming through. I mean, to be an alchemist, you are a shaman, because a shaman will alchemize the inner world, alchemize the energy and work with energy, and I just almost feel like you kind of mastered that. Yeah, I almost feel like you've mastered that. That's what's helped you transmute. The way of the shaman kind of lives within you. You haven't really had to seek that just naturally kind of came to you. But now it's like, okay, I have this shaman within me. I have these abilities within me. But like, as far as this physical incarnation, what am I now? And that's the whole adventure that you're on, it feels. Back of the deck, we have the Hunter. Track down your fears and desires. And even when we look down at the duality, that fears and desires, truth and distortion, bad and good, these are I guess projections that we create. When we even look at, and I'll tell you a little story. I was doing a reading not long ago, and it was a really light reading. And when I was doing it, I had like a lower vibration to kind of come towards me, and that can happen from time to time. And I was asking this energy to go. I was like, leave, just leave, go away. And I wasn't scared. It was just like, right, you're irritating me. Like, you're about to catch these metaphysical hands and get out of my space. And normally I'm able to just hold that frequency of light and shift it away. But it was actually irritating me to the point that it was bringing me down to a level of frustration. And I could no longer channel. And I was like, fine, you win. You wanted me to stop doing this, obviously. Like, you're, a dark being, whatever. Like, you've ruined it. I'm going to have to just film another day. Thank you very much. So I go down a cleanse. This being still in my energy field. And I'm like, why are you here? Like, why are you here? And the being was like, there was this essence from this being of like, well, what am I? What do you think I am? And I was like, you're a lower vibrational being. You're a dark being. And then this energy kind of came through like, oh, well, you're allowing me to have control over you because you're scared of me. You're attaching to me. Like there was this energy coming through, like you're allowing me to distort your own light. And I was like, yeah, exactly. So you're dark. And it was like, no, I'm doing my job because I'm showing you where you're allowing things to have control over you. If you were fully content within your light and you believed that you were in your power, you wouldn't have even allowed me to take you out of your own energy. But even you believing that I'm a dark being and pulling you out of your energy, you're allowing the distortion to take over, and I'm showing you where there's cracks. And I was like, wait a second. And when I realized that all this energy is this dark energy. It's literally just distortion. And once you've dealt with the shadow and the darkness and you shine the light on it, you can transmute it. The distortion is no longer there because there's no more cracks in the foundation, and you become all. And when I did that being, even though it was a lower being in my mind and in my human sense bad being, it showed me where there was a crack in my own foundation in which I felt that being could have a sense of control over me or stop me doing something. And since then, anytime I've done a reading and I felt a certain energy come towards me, I will say to that being, thank you, I understand you're doing your job, you're trying to start. I'm not about that. Thank you for, doing your job and showing people why there's distortion. However, we don't need it here. I'm good. Since then, I have not had any being interfere with a reading because I understand that it can't. And if that being hadn't distorted me in that moment, I wouldn't have known where there was a crack in my own foundation. So that being did its job. And I feel like you're learning about the dark and the light and, you know, the distortion, and that you are all anyway. It's something you're learning, pal one. And I feel like your spirit guides are kind of guiding you through that. So with track down your fears and desires and this duality, I feel like you're giving everything new meaning from a more empowered state with infinite knowledge. Very powerful reading with your spirit guides too. Like, this is very powerful. I've, like, literally, guys, like, this is really, really powerful. I've enjoyed this a lot. So thank you to Pal Number One Spirit Guides for assisting me doing this reading. This was beautiful. Thank you, Pal One, for letting me read on you. I really hope this resonated. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if this did resonate. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching. And hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey Pal 2, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at what spirit guides are around you right now and why they're around you right now. So you guys chose the pyrite crystal. I'm going to pop this straight up here and we are going to get straight in. Now the minute I'm tapping into your energy, guys, I'm being told that you guys are either strongly clairaudient or it's going to be breaking soon. I'm being taken to the Fae, so I'm being taken to the fairy realm, and I'm being told that you either have a lot of air in your chart, a lot of water in your chart, or you're just very elegant in the way that you move. I'm also being told that your spirit guides are referencing you like a delicate flower. And when I say delicate flower, not that you are weak in any sense of the word, because when we look at Mother Gaia and we look at the roots of where every plant comes from, like, Mother Gaia is very strong. But in the sense of you lead with compassion and you have this very fairy-like-esque, whether you're male or female, a gracious temperament, they're saying, to life. And it's admirable that you can hold a frequency so bright amongst chaos. And there's like an applause and gratitude that you can do that. But there's also a reference of how strong that is to be able to choose peace and love when you are faced with pain and distortion. And that's a strong message coming through, that even if you're feeling disconnected to your light right now, a light like that that's able to hold that and not turn dark that long and hold that, it can never be burnt out. So when you feel disconnected to that part of you and that light, it is only because it is alchemizing into a greater flame and into a brighter light, is what I'm being told. Yeah. And the more brighter it becomes, or the more the flower grows, the more stronger it becomes. And I'm being shown like a plant, when it fades in the winter, it grows again in the summer. So if you are going through a phase of disconnect right now, or you feel like you're going through a phase of disconnect, or you feel like you're going through a phase of being shut down in your emotional center, or maybe your empathy or anything like that, it's not actually shut down. It's rebirthing a higher consciousness again. And there's a reference of, if you could love that deep and you could hold that frequency before, imagine this new doorway you're walking into and how brighter and lighter and, you know, pure it's going to be. And they're telling you to not fear a cycle you're going through right now, to switch that feeling of fear to excitement of what's to come for you. And there's this gentle, I'm almost being shown like motherly energy around you. I'm hearing Rockabye Baby for some reason, if that's like a song that maybe a parent used to sing, or maybe you've sung it to yourself for whole significance. But I'm almost being shown this feminine motherly energy wrapping around you. And it's almost like in a blanket, as if you're like connecting to your inner child. And there's this rocking going on in your energy of like there's this strong, beautiful, motherly essence of you are safe, you are comforted. And I want to say Mother Gaia may be a deity that works with you or is connected to you, because I'm being shown Mother Gaia, but there's just this beautiful, like, coming through like an elderly being, and very feminine, and they're bringing much needed nurture into you that I don't feel you ever lacked. I feel like you've always had it within you, but maybe you haven't had it expressed to you by others, like a strong feminine nurturing energy. And this being's, it's like, it must be like the energy feels large, and it's like swooping you up and rocking you, like you are safe where you are right now. You are safe, you are always safe, you're always going to be safe, like, and allowing yourself to receive, like, and I hope you feel it, because she's passing it like through her to me to you. So I hope you're feeling it. You may feel like crying, or you just may feel a hearty energy, you may just feel soothed, but there's just this beautiful feeling, and I hope you feel it, of just a motherly touch and a motherly love. And even if it doesn't feel like something you felt before, because I feel like you've had it but maybe you haven't received it from others, allow yourself to surrender and just feel that motherly love for a second, because there's this energy. It's a feminine energy. It's saying, like, at times when you're just feeling low, or you're feeling weary, or you're feeling tired, tap into it, be in that state of receiving, and allow yourself to be cradled, because you're allowed to receive that too. And that's an energy coming through from your spirit guides, like just a motherly nurturing that's taking place in your energy field right now, and they want you to tap into it and receive that. You're allowed, they almost like tell them that they're allowed to give themselves permission. Like, it's not a sense of we're giving them permission, because that's not our say whether they get to have that or not. It's up to them to give themselves permission to receive it. And there's almost a message from your spirit guides as well to remember to center yourself right now. Are you processing heavy emotions right now? Because there's this energy, or even if you're just feeling a bit disconnected, there's this sense of slowing everything down and just breathing through your heart space and allowing that gentleness to kind of come over you. A strong message. So let's get deeper. I haven't even pulled the cards yet. Pile number 2. Pile number 2, you're so protected and almost in a cradle right now, it feels, when I'm tapping into you guys, pile 2. You may be healing the inner child right now, or tapping into the divine mother, the divine father within yourself, or allowing that energy in where there may have been an absence of it. Pile number 2, please, spirit guides. Pile number 2. What messages do my pile number 2's spirit guides have for them? And who are my pile number 2's spirit guides? Knight of Wands. Who are my pile number 2 spirit guides? And why are they around my pile number 2 right now? Oh, wow. 2 of Pentacles. Who are pile number 2 spirit guides? King of Wands. Who are my pile number 2 spirit guides, and why are they around my pile number 2s right now? You've let me just move these over. You have 5 cards instead of 4. King of Wands. Yeah, there's like, I wouldn't even call it a purification. It's a homecoming. 7 of Pentacles. It's a homecoming that's happening in your aura right now. That these I feel like you've got ancestors around you right now. Okay. You know, like I was saying, you're like a delicate flower and you're connected to the fairy realm, and I feel like you're very airy and very watery. I feel like you're very aware of like the universe's let me stop kicking my shelf. I feel like you're very aware of like the universe's deeper understanding of what love is. Like, I feel like when you think of love, you don't look at it in the sense of a quick hot and heavy romance, what can you bring to me? I feel like you look at love through a very soft but very strong, pure essence, in the sense of, I see you. I see your soul. I see who you are. I see your pains. I see your weaknesses. I see your hurt. I see your greatness. I love it all. And within you is this divine mother and divine nurturer. And whether you're a male or female, like, it's within you. I feel like you have that feminine nurturing energy within you. And I feel like up through your ancestors, like up through your ancestral cycle, your ancestors would have lost touch of what that truly meant. Like, the motherly love, it was lost because at one point it was distorted, and then through the ancestral line the distortion continued and it grew like a snowball. And I feel like you felt the effect of it. Maybe I don't know what your relationship would have been like with your mother, but maybe your mother wasn't fully emotionally open with you, or maybe, you know, you suffered because of your own mother, or just feminines in your family. It doesn't have to be the mother, it could be beyond the mother. But maybe there's a lot of suffering, and it's come from the divine feminine's distortion of not being whole and strong within it itself. I almost feel like a lot of the feminine, forgive me while I try and find the words, a lot of the feminine beings in your ancestral line, I feel like they may have turned to their masculine side and disconnected from their own inner feminine and inner divine feminine. I feel like they've done that. I feel like there's been a lot of masculine energies and power and greed, and to a point then maybe spite and hurt, and it could have got really dark. And I just feel like there's been such a distortion. I feel like there's just like generations of wounds that are just kind of growing like weeds, and there's just this feeling of you being this delicate being, and you're like backed by the ancestors that would have been connected to the divine feminine strongly before it was distorted. And I feel like they've almost been walking with every generation until that power was brought back. And I feel like you were born, and it's like one of my favorite sayings, the rose that grew from the concrete, like that seed was planted. And I feel like these beings, it's a feminine energy. And even like the feminines that would have incarnated, that were distorted from it, when they've crossed over, alchemized, and found that importance and sense of self and connection to the divine feminine in the other realms, it's like their souls even walking with you and tapping into your femininity and all that it is, and that nurturing and bringing it to you. And what I saw when I saw this feminine energy coming through in this elderly woman, it felt like more than just one being. And I'm being told it's because it was a collective consciousness of feminines in your family line that have come in together to help nurture you and bring the abundance of the feminine and the strength of the feminine forefront, where it has been abandoned for so long. And you're feeling the weight of it because you've had to purge these distortions and look at them where people have discarded them because they were fearful of them or they weren't ready to do it. And I feel like they keep referencing, this is why being a delicate flower is not a weakness, it's a strength, because to be able to hold on to that purity, bring it to the darkness and alchemize it, that is one of the biggest strengths that we can do. That's what we're literally here to do when we're incarnating, is clear in the karma of earth, getting rid of the distortion, so that we can bask in our own empowerment. And that's something that you're doing, and that's what is around you right now, spirit guide wise, a collective of feminine energies that are helping you tap into your essence. And even just like the masculine energies, I feel like even the masculine energies in your family line were distorted, and I feel like maybe they acted out from a lower vibration, which then caused the triggering of both the masculine and the feminine, and it kept going back and forth, because then I'm even being shown like the divine father and many males coming through where they've been able to transmute into a higher vibration and see where there was distortion there, and they're kind of like walking there. And I feel like right now you're healing a very big lesson in the sense of the purity of the feminine and the purity of the mother, the divine feminine, and then the purity of the masculine. and the divine masculine and the divine father. And I feel like that's so deep, but that's something that you're alchemizing right now, and that's something that you're understanding right now and working through. And I feel like it's heavy, but you're being so cradled and protected while it's happening. And I do feel like you've seen a lot of darkness, but know that this protection was around you from the beginning, because when you incarnated, you chose to alchemize this. And I feel like when you chose that, you not only called out, hey, spirit guides, look out for me, you called ancestors that were in that family line that could then guide you. And they are around you so strong. And every tear that's dropped, it was a tear of them. And every rage that came out in you was a rage of the injustice of them. That's why they were around you, and that's why you felt, I feel like crying, because it's like, that's why you felt it so strong. You felt the disempowerment of generations of souls, masculine and feminine, and you've weeped it out and grieved it out and purged it out so that it's gone, so you can bring that light back. And that's what you've been doing, and it's very heavy. So if you are feeling right now, pile number 2, like your heart is a little bit withered, or your heart is a little bit off or disconnected, it's not disconnected. You are purging mass amount of distortion and pain, and it's coming out of you. Maybe you've suffered with depression because you were feeling the depression and the restlessness of your family line, so you could purge it out, so that moving forward you were no longer plagued by that karma, and you could live a life of balance and acceptance. Because with this 2 of Pentacles, there was an imbalance that you were bringing into abundance. And I say that with confidence, because past this 8 of Swords, we have the 10 of Pentacles. You are seeding new life, bringing new connections, bringing in new meaning, bringing in new beauty where there was just weeds. You're literally, I'm being shown a garden overthrown with weeds, and you've been cutting and cutting them away, so you can plant with the 7 of Pentacles. I love how the Queen of Swords came out. Plant with the 7 of Pentacles this beautiful Garden of Eden that is the 10 of Pentacles, and this collective of energy is your ancestors walking with you and honoring you the same way you honored them when you chose this mission to help you get this out. And with this Queen of Swords, I feel like with the smoke here as well, I feel like you've really had to speak through a lot of fog. Like maybe you've had to really put in heavy boundaries with family, maybe cut certain family members out, maybe stand up in certain situations where their trigger, family members' triggers or ancestors' triggers were kind of trying to pull you back down and silencing you. There's a reference of that, and this is so... It's such, I know the pain that you would have gone through. I've had to go through like a similar journey myself, but when I tell you, when I tap in to the love that is around you, I know because I've been through a journey like this. I know there's been times, pal, too, where you have felt like it was just you on a hill battling everything with a sword. But let me tell you, it's not just the physical realm that is here. There is a whole spiritual realm, and while you think you're just stood there with a sword, even though they're telling me you're strong enough to get through it all on your own because you're very, very powerful, behind you is a whole abundance of ancestors and beings that are standing behind you, seeding that light with you, cheering you on and giving you that energy. And I feel like I feel like you may have like lost your temper at times and shouted and screamed. When you did that, you weren't a bad person. It was frustration and anger from ancestors that was coming out, that their voices were deprived of saying things that needed to be said, or feeling pains that needed to be cured, and you needed to like let it out. And that's something that I'm being told the way you've weathered that storm is just so beautiful and admirable. And the way that when I open up your reading, it's just this collective of feminine motherly souls cradling you, and I'm hearing rockabye baby like cradling you. It is the most beautiful feeling, and I really hope you can still feel it, because I can still feel it, and I hope you are. It's just a blanket of love around you so that you can finally welcome in that energy that's been deprived of your ancestry line. And that's something that's coming through so strongly, and that's why these energies are around you. That's why these beings are around you, literally championing you as you do this. So that's what I'm getting there. Let me pull... I'm hearing a whole new world. Like, it's not, I'm being told to say it's not always going to be this way. So you may still be alchemizing these emotions. It's not always going to be this way. You're not doing this in vain. You're not doing this to, to just be a healer of it and that's it. You didn't just incarnate to go through this and then leave. You're planting seeds that are going to create abundance, where you can create your own family of love. And maybe I'm being told some of you have already done it and done it excellently, where you've already had children and shown them love where you would have known pain and been able to show that, you know, and bring that to your ancestry line. Like, I feel like a lot of you have already done it and there's an applause. But even those of you that haven't had children, or maybe not even desire to have children, and that's completely fine, you're still more than just a healer. There's so much beauty to you, and you're bringing in abundance, and you are going to live. And I feel like as I'm saying this, is almost triggering in the sense of, I don't feel worthy of feeling it. You're going to get to a point where you know that you're worthy of feeling it. And I'm saying it to you right now. You are going to live a life of abundance that was deprived of, you know, from ancestors before you. They weren't able to. You are going to live it. And your ancestors and your spirit guides are making sure that you are protected so that you live that. Because a true essence of love that you literally hold within you, that's supposed to be matched with love like that, and you're about to bring it in. That true essence of like financial abundance, it's to come in. You're bringing that to you. You're seeding these, you're planting these seeds so that it can grow. I just shared the worst is over, or the worst is, I'm hearing like there's a bout of energy you're purging right now and getting out of your system. Some of you, it's like emotionally heavy. Some of you guys, it's, you almost feel like you flatlined. Keep walking. Make sure you're nurturing you as much as you can. Be patient. And when I'm saying patient, there's a sense of bring softness into your life right now. Bring softness into your life. Don't rush where you're at right now. And these seeds are about to bloom. That's what I'm being told for you guys. I feel like you just, there's so much love and awe and gratitude from your spirit guides coming through. Because you have your spirit guides, but then you have your ancestors, and it's your ancestors that wanted to come through strong right now, because they're the ones that are around you strongest right now, in the sense of, we're here for this reason, to nurture you, to bring that nurturing back to you and give to you the way that you've given to others and tapped into that. So let's pull some oracle cards. Pile number 2. What spirit guides are around my pile number 2s right now? We have the email. This is a good time to go on a new adventure. You're stepping into newness, because you set out the intention to do that. Like, no more pain. I always used to say, when I was doing a lot of integration of karma from my family line, I used to say that saying, it ran through my family until it ran into me. And by that, you need to remember, it doesn't stay within you when you take it on. It transmutes within you so that it's dissolved and it's no more. And that's literally what's happening. And we have literally the 10 of Pentacles, and the meaning of it all is the 7 of Pentacles, like planting the seeds. This is what you're going through right now. You may feel like the 8 of Swords, but just beyond the 8 of Swords is this 10 of Pentacles that you're being ushered to. And you know what it is? I don't even see like, oh, I'm walking towards it. It's like the energy is wrapping you up in a blanket and walking you to it. Let us nurture you now. Feel this love now. Pile number, if you're crying right now, if this has triggered or it's just helping you release, know it is safe to do that, because there's a message from someone's spirit guide saying it's safe to cry. What we do in these readings, especially when they're heavy like this, we hold space for each other. Know that I'm holding space for you. Know that your spirit guides are holding space for you right now. Allow yourself to just surrender to any emotions that come through. Allow them to then float away. You're safe to do that. Okay, that's a message that just came through. Pile number 2, we have the dog. Your loyalty and faithfulness is misplaced by serving too many masters. Now, before this card came out, I was going to say, did you used to overgive? Because I feel like a part of what you're learning, I feel like you've taken on the role of the mother to an extent of, I'm not going to be like what I've been shown. Maybe you've seen a lot of narcissism, you've seen a lot of people taken, and you've decided that's not in my essence. So what I see around me is pain. I need to heal it. And I feel like you've been loyal to everyone around you and given to everyone around you to the point that you haven't made room to receive. And it's nothing that you did wrong. Maybe you didn't receive love in childhood, or maybe you didn't receive comfort in childhood. And I always say this, when we don't receive love in our childhood, we settle for being needed. And when we settle for being needed, we are then in an extent of we forget we have boundaries, we forget that we are even a person, and then we just give because everybody needs us, and we take that on as, oh, maybe this is love, or maybe this is how I can nurture others and heal others. But we forget then that we also need nurturing, we also need that love. And I feel like you've dealt then with people take, and I feel like you're such a loyal person. You really see people. You see the heart, you feel people, and your spirit guides are saying, and your ancestors are saying, I'm going to say it one and the same, so I'm going to tap into your ancestors as your spirit guides when I say it. They're saying it's your time. It's your time to receive. It's your time to receive love. It's your time to see the light you've seen in others. It's your time to be happy and be at peace. It's your time. And that's another part of the journey. And it's not you being selfish. It's not you turning cold and dark. It's your time to bring back all of that energy you gave out and receive the love that not only was always within you, but that was always there. It was just distorted by people's pains. And there's a reference as well, whoever's hurt you, and this is more than one person I can feel, they did love you, but they loved you to the capacity that they couldn't tap into all that their heart was in its entirety because of their own pain. And whether they're in your life right now, or whether you've had to cut them off, whether you've had to move on, or maybe you're still around them and they're maybe learning to integrate, whatever applies to whoever you're thinking of, they do love you, because love is eternal, and beyond this physical realm is energy and souls, and that love is eternal. It's within us all. And there's also a sense to allow yourself to grieve and accept the rite of passage out of an energy that you've been in, but also like allowing yourself to grieve the certain connections that have fallen away, because you have a beautiful heart and you want the best for them, but they can only bring themselves to it. Don't feel guilt for bringing yourself abundance. Allow yourself to grieve that maybe they're not coming with you, but then remember that they are always within you, because you are part of the same soul tribe, and you've been helping each other learn and go through this incarnation and empower, and you've all been playing part of this puzzle together, and there was always love there, even when there was distortion. And be safe in that knowing, and allow yourself to receive the love that is now readily available to you, that is about to come in for you, or that is already here. For some of you guys, it's already coming in. That's a message as well from your spirit guides. We have the spider at the back of the deck. Trust the creative spark you're feeling and express it through writing stories that inspire and enlighten. You're in a child as well. I feel like you're being called to nurture right now. What did you used to do as an inner child, like as a child, that brought you comfort? Was it sing? Was it dance? Was it make music? Was it create stuff? Was it just going out into nature? For me, what I used to do, I'll tell you what little Lexi used to do. I used to watch like movies, and you guys know my love for Doctor Who. I literally loved it. And I used to like act it out as if like I was in that world. And I really enjoyed doing that. It was really fun for me. And I don't know why they're showing me that, but getting lost in your inner child and the beauty and the magic of that. I feel like that could be very nurturing for you right now. Yeah, there's nurturing of the inner child that they're calling you to do right now. And even when you're not doing it, maybe when you're just resting, I almost feel like it's an expression of your ancestors helping nurture your inner child right now. Because it can be overwhelming as well when we start, like when I got into the energy of receiving, and I watched the switch of not just like life and how it was manifesting for me, but like my own family. Like I was like, I don't know if you've watched Encanto, but I was the Bruno of my family. Like I was the one that stood up to a lot, so I was kind of ostracized. And when I got into that energy of receiving, and I wasn't trying to change anyone or wake anyone up, I was just be doing me and healing, everyone started to, like, in my family as well, and I hadn't even done anything, really like me and like really give me a lot of love and give a lot of like energy to me. And I was just in this energy of receiving. I didn't do anything. They just started to be a bit more nurturing to me in their own kind of way, and see light in me that I felt that they didn't see. And it was almost weird to me when it happened, because it was like, am I like the favorite? I felt like I was the star of the family. Like I felt like, well, the family that I had left that I spoke to, I felt like the star of the family. And it was weird, all these things coming in, and then my finances were going up, and I was like, what is going on? And I knew that I was worthy of it, but it was just a weird thing to get used to, that switch. And I feel like that's coming in for you, whether it's already happening or it's about to, this switch of energy where you're in this energy of receiving. And you even think, am I being a bit narcissistic, asking for something that I want? Or like you start to think those things because you would have thought that in the past, but it's like, no, I feel like now is your time to step into all that you are. Pile number 2. There's a shift in the water, I'm being told. Do you have a little dog? I feel like you have a pet. It doesn't have to be a dog. It could be like a cat, a parrot, a fish, I don't know. It's just the dog's really sticking out to me. Like there's an animal that is acting as your guide in this lifetime, but then also it could be an animal that's crossed over, that's around you, protecting you in the spirit realm as well, watching over you. But it feels like family, like it feels like it's either an animal that literally feels like part of the family and kind of walks around like, I own this place, like part of the family, or it's like an animal that you just had such a soulful bond to that they felt like family, that may have passed on, that is around you as well, nurturing that part of you right now. I just heard the FKA Twig song, it's called Thank You Song. I don't know why, I just heard a little bit of it. I can't remember all of the lyrics, but that came through. Thank You Song, FKA Twigs. And I'm also hearing the song by Chloe and Harley, If God Spoke. That's another song that's coming through, If God Spoke, Chloe and Harley, if you want to listen to them. Oh, the card just like jumped out of my hands. 2 seconds, guys. The high priest, not the high priestess, the high priest, intend and create. Let me get one more card and then I'll see what the messages are. One more card, please, spirit guides. One more card. Move these up here. One more card, please, spirit guides. One more card, please. Oh, these cards are just flopping out of my... hands. One more card, please, spirit guides. What spirit guides are around pile number 2 and why? Is somebody thinking of taking up like judo, jiu-jitsu, or I don't, it's something like that. I don't know all of the names, so apologies, but it's like judo, karate, like that sort of, I don't know, I'm just being taken there. I don't know why. I think it's just like a confirmation, either if you did that in childhood or if you've been thinking of taking it up, there's like a reference of like, yeah, do it. Yeah, we have the shaman, trust in higher forces. You're very, very protected. Look at the birds here as well. Very, very protected. The trust in higher forces for you guys, this card is more so coming through because this came up for pile 1, but it's a different message for you. For you guys, it's like, of course, to integrate this and work through this, there's a sense of you probably having the wisdom of a shamanic healer within you from past lives, because to be able to filter all of that and transmute it, that there kind of has to be a sense of an alchemist here. But also with the shaman card, and I'm also looking at the message, trust in, oh my god, it was the guy shouting on his megaphone. I had no idea what that was then. Trust in higher forces. What I'm being told here is the simple message of trust that you are being comforted and protected. That's the message that's coming through. And then we have shapeshifter, transform and unveil your gifts. What may feel a little bit like a death right now as you're purging something heavy, or maybe you're feeling a little bit shut down right now, as you're integrating, you're not going through a death, you're going through a rebirth, with a whole other chapter in front of you. And I feel like you're just kind of currently like closing, I just dropped all my cards on the floor. You're currently like closing a book and opening a new one. And that's something that's happening right now, and they're assisting you as you nurture yourself back into this new chapter for yourself. Can you hear that? I don't think I've ever heard him be that loud, to be honest with you. He must have had a coffee this morning, because I don't think I've ever heard it that loud. But yeah, that is what I have for you, my pile number 2s. I really hope that this brought you clarity. I hope it brought you comfort. I really hope that you enjoyed this reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if it resonated for you. And I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching. And hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys. From me and the Rag and Bone Man, thank you guys for watching. Hey pile 3, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at what spirit guides are around you right now, and yeah, we're gonna see why they're around you, why they're choosing to be around you, and what they're guiding you with right now. So you guys chose the green calcite. I feel like you guys may be my water pile, because when I tapped into your energy, I felt like I was like, it felt like I was floating into like a blue lagoon. Like, I can't even explain. It's just how it felt. Like I was just kind of floating into your energy, which is funny because normally it just kind of engulfs me, or I just felt like I was sinking, you know what I mean? Sinking to sit in it instead of just being placed in it, which was really lovely. So yeah, you may be my water pile. So spirit guides, tap me into the collective of my pile number 3. Can I just say before I begin, like, you're very creative, like very artistic. I feel like you have like an artist within you, like you're just very creative. I feel like you see life with so much color. Like I feel like I'm looking at like around at everything, and it's like as if I've, you know, taken like psilocybin or something like that, like the colors that are emitting everywhere. And it's just the way you look at life. You're very vibrant, you're very extroverted, the way that you speak, and even if you're not extroverted, you draw in extroverts with your own creations and just who you are, the color that you are. You draw in people that are intrigued by you. I feel like you're a very divine reflection of just beauty and art, whatever beauty and art means to each individual. I just feel like you are that. It's just like a strong feeling that I'm getting from you. I feel like if you were in my life, you'd bring a lot of color to my life. I feel like you add a lot of color to people's lives, and I feel like you have a lot of like creative talents within you. Even for some of you guys, you may like make your own clothes, or like have a desire to make your own clothes or jewelry, or like it doesn't have to be, it could be anything. You could like make your own websites, to design your own websites. It doesn't have to be clothes, but I just got like an emphasis on clothes and making your own clothes, or having a unique way of dressing, and finding clothes that are quite like unique and tailored to you. It's just something that came through. But you're very creative is something that I'm picking up, and feel like a party in a teacup, you know, like you hear like storm in a teacup. Like I feel like you're a party in a teacup. Like your world is like that, the way you look at the world. It's like when Alice goes into Wonderland, it's like me going into the blue lagoon, into your energy. Like it kind of feels like that. really beautiful. So spirit guides, what spirit guides are around my pile threes? What spirit guides are around my pile threes? Are you really drawn to like Rumi, mystics and prophets that were well known in the past, or artists, or old Hollywood singers or actresses like Marilyn Monroe, or because there's like a being around you that you're drawn to, because you would have either been around them in a past life, been inspired by them in a past life, or you would have been them in a past life. Because there's like an energy of like a being around you that's coming through. Of course you have many members of your spirit team, but there's like there's an emphasis on someone that you're super drawn to, even like a historic person. I just shared Florence Nightingale, or like Cleopatra. It could even be like a specific deity that you're learning about, like Aphrodite, or Goddess Kali, or Shun, or whoever comes through that you can think of, Anubis, Isis, like and even like even people that may still be alive in this lifetime, like Sadhguru, or Anna Wintour. I don't know, I'm just thinking of like beings like that, or the higher self of a being like that, or maybe you're supposed to be somebody like that in this lifetime, that there's souls working with you to kind of create something. Because what the people I'm talking about, they were known for something, like whether you like them or not, like Anna Wintour, like she's known for being that kind of like fashion house, and there's a feeling of you being that just by you being you, by your own authenticity. And I feel like maybe the people that you look up to are people that have created something like that, or have their own uniqueness that's made them. I just shared Michael Jackson for some reason, but that's just what I'm hearing. Like, you're meant to be, like people that I'm referencing, they have that standout essence that just makes them you. Makes them them, and makes you you. Like, you have something that makes you you, and it's not really anything that can be mimicked. And I feel like a lot of your spirit guides are around you, like helping you preserve that and authentically be that, and own that. I'm being told, but this is like it's gonna be, the reason I'm not homing in on one is because it's gonna be specifically tailored to a lot of you. But there's someone that you're drawn to or look up to, and there's an essence of that being around you, guiding you or walking with you. Again, if it's from like historic times, you either would have been them, so it's part of your higher self showing it, or you would have been close to them and they inspired you. It's just, that's what's coming through straight away. We're gonna get deeper. Pile number three, please, spirit guides. Pile number three. What spirit guides are around my pile number three? Yeah, there's also, like, for some of you guys, even if it isn't like a person, there's a specific deity that's like really strongly around you. I'm taken to like the water elements as well, so like Yamaya, again, like Aphrodite, because I'm being shown her like coming from the sea form, and I love that. So yeah, there's just there's deities around you. Yeah, okay, I need to get deeper. Let me just lay the cards. Pile three, what spirit guides are around my pile number three? I'll take a minute for you to settle into the energy, but pile three, what spirit guides are around my pile threes, please, spirit? We have the Devil and the Ace of Swords. Okay, what spirit guides are around my pile number threes, and why? What spirit guides are around my pile number threes, and why? Which way should we do them, this way or the other way? Eight of Wands, Six of Wands, and we also have the Knight of Wands at the back of the deck. Okay, I feel like I feel like the spirit guides that are around you as well, they're very vocal. And I feel like whether it is a deity, whether it is a person that was looked up to, or whether it was just like an ancestor that was known in your family, or it's just like a spirit guide that is known for this, like being very creative, but also standing in their own essence and not letting anyone waver it, because there's an essence of you I'm being shown like Sword in the Stone with the Ace of Swords. Like, I feel like you have this unique way of being. I feel like you have this beautiful outlook of life. I feel like you have this beautiful outlook of how things should look in your life. Not in the sense that you're changing other people's perceptions. It's like, this is what this means to me. This is how I like to dress. This is how I want to present myself. And I feel like you're so out there. Like, it feels like Aquarian, like out of this world in a way. And I feel like you're so out there in the way that you do it and so authentically unique that like it's almost like too advanced for some people to even understand. And I feel like you've had people waver you out of that or try and get you to question yourself out of that. And this guide or this being that's around you with this devil energy and the Ace of Swords is almost guiding you and protecting you and that creativity and that uniqueness within you so that you can stand in it without being wavered by other people's perception. There's a reason that you are this creative because it's your talent, and the reason that people can't see those colors is because they're not tapped into those colors within their own minds yet. Whether they ever will or whether they won't be, they have their own talent anyway. But by them, I feel like it's not that people mean to almost like shut you down. It's either that people just don't understand it. So it's like, what I don't understand, I'm going to throw something over or get rid of it because it doesn't make sense to me. Or a lot of the time when something doesn't make sense to someone, they'll look at it as wrong. You'll see in like certain religions, like they'll favor the light without dissecting the dark and even why it's there, when the darkness can teach you things that the light cannot, because there has to be an existence of both. But it's like people will just run to the light because it's like, this means good to me. I don't understand the dark, so I'm going to look at it as bad before transmuting it and understanding it. And that's why we have people running away from their shadows. So it's like, when you see something that doesn't make sense to you, it's going to be shunned. If you can't compare it to something, you're going to shun it. And I feel like people have tried to do that with you, or even just put you in a box. I feel like you're someone that just cannot be tamed at all. Cue Miley Cyrus's song, Can't Be Tamed. Like, I feel like you're somebody like that, and I feel like you've had people try and box you in. And this guide, it's like a particular guide coming through. There's no gender here. It's not even like it's more feminine, it's more masculine. No, I feel like it's got a beautiful balance of both, and it's just coming through, and it's very fiery. And they're like it's I'm hearing Spice Girls, spice up your life. Like, they feel very fiery, and they're very for the authenticity of the individual in the physical realm. And I feel like they're guiding you through you being that best version of yourself by you being authentically unique to yourself, because you have something to say. And just because it hasn't been said before doesn't mean that it hasn't got a place, because the reason that we have these paths anyway is because people have blazed the path before us. And I feel like you're here to blaze a new path, and I feel like this guide would have done it in their time, or would have at least guided other souls to do it. Maybe a soul that was well known historically, and that's why you're connected to that other soul, because you can feel it. But I feel like you're someone that's here to really plant a seed, and not just like a seed that's always been there. Like, you've gone to another country, found a fruit that you don't have in your country, and then grabbed one of the seeds and planted it somewhere else. Like, you're bringing creation and art that hasn't been seen from your viewpoint before. And the reason I'm saying Aquarius is, when we look at Aquarius, is they tend to look at things from a higher perspective, from a bird's eye view. Other than like maybe like a Taurus energy would look at things from the ground level and know that they have to build. There's nothing wrong with either or, it's just a different viewpoint. But a lot of the times the Aquarius may see that the Taurus has its own creation, but it can see beyond that. And it's like, well, you have your own creation, I have mine. Whereas like sometimes if we're looking at something from a ground level, it's like, I'm looking from things up there, but I can't see from high up there, so I can only see that what I'm doing is right. And I feel like a lot of people around you may have been a little stubborn and not being able to see what you were really creating, and I'm being told that they don't need to see it, it's your vision for a reason. And this guide is coming through to help you authentically bring that, because with this 8 of Wands here and this 6 of Wands, I do want to say straight away, you create from the heart. I feel like you bring a lot of wisdom down, you bring a lot of creation down, you bring a lot of magic down. I feel like they're almost referencing like to look into your mind. It's like Alice in Wonderland, but it's like, you know, when she eats the do you like Alice in Wonderland? Keeps coming up. You know, when she eats the bread and then she grows really big and everything's all topsy-turvy, and I don't know, like I'm almost being told, like, okay, to tap into pile number 3's essence and energy and to see life as magic as they are, here's an elixir, drink it, and then I'm seeing life the way that you're seeing it. And I just feel like you may even feel sometimes like life's one big trip, but people may look at you like, well, it's very out there, because I guess if someone was talking from a viewpoint of taking, you know, something to enhance what they're seeing, and somebody was just talking from a very practical 3D lens, it wouldn't make sense to the practical 3D lens, but it doesn't mean that it isn't real or isn't being experienced. And there's a reference of that coming through from this particular spirit guide. You may have been drawn to like artists in the past as well, and being shown that like TikTok meme, and he's like, aye, Picasso, like I'm hearing that, so like Picasso or Van Gogh. I don't know a lot of famous artists, but that's something that's coming through, or like composers of music as well is something that's coming through, because art has many forms. But yeah, I just feel like this being's helped you bring creations to life in other lifetimes too. I want to show you the clock quickly. It's 2:22 on the clock, if that's the number you've been seeing. It just caught my eye. But yeah, I feel like you're here to really create something and bring something into abundance, and that's what this guide is working with. Have you been thinking of a new business idea, or wanting to launch like a website or a product, or learn something that could further you somewhere, or invent something? It's like an inventory energy, and this guide is kind of with you, like, this isn't our first do-si-do. That's what the guide said. This isn't our first do-si-do. We've done this before. This isn't our first rodeo. That's what I'm being told. Yeah. It's, who is this? Is this guide like someone that's incarnated before? No, I don't feel it is. I just feel like maybe back like eons ago they would have incarnated on Earth, but I feel like they're very comfortable in their spirit guide position. They know you very well. It's like you're kind of, they're referencing like, this is my chum, like this is my pal. I feel like they've guided you in many other lifetimes where you've just brought things into creation, things that haven't been done. I'll bring the oracle cards out now, otherwise I'll probably keep spiraling around that same thing that's being said. But you really are creating from your heart, and you have a fire that's igniting a spark of newness. It's like, I feel like this being's very fiery, but then I also feel like you have a lot of fire within you. This is where the passion's coming from, but it's like Aquarian or like 11th house Uranus energy coming through really, really, really strongly. Let's pull some cards, some more cards, and go deeper. Pile number 3, please, spirit guides. Pile number 3. What spirit guides are around my pile number 3? What spirit guides are around my pile number 3 right now, and why? Let's go deeper. What spirit guides are around my pile number 3s, and why? I just got shown that saying, when you don't fit in the world, it's because you were born to stand out. I just shared that. We have the panda. Create a sacred space for yourself in your home and or place of work. So we have that, and then I'll pull one more, and then I'll channel a message for both these cards. Pile number 3, please, spirit guides. What spirit guides are around? Oh, I guess spirit pulled them for me. 2 came out. I was only going to use 1, but 2 have come out. We have Wolverine. You're tough. You're a lot tougher than you think you are. So we have that. And then let's pull, well, not pull, let me show you the other card. What do we have? The Ladybug. This is a time of good fortune and abundance, so be willing to receive all good things in your life. I don't know if you saw my story on YouTube the other day. I don't know if it'll still be there. Now, I went with my friend. We went on a little bit of a hike up the mountains, and we sat down, and there was about 100 butterflies just all around us. It was really beautiful. I don't know if it's going to still be on my story. I think it would have gone by now. The back of the deck, we have get support from a trusted group of like-minded friends, the Magha card. So with the panda, create a sacred space for yourself in your home and or place of work. This is a reminder from this spirit guide to fill your home with as much art and light as you can. Whatever that means for you, even if you have like 100 aesthetics going on in one room, make everything art. Like, I don't know whether you don't have a lot going on in your home right now or your room, but there's this essence of like creating art and making art so that when you wake up, you're always inspired by art. Even though I see like, you see the color in everything, it's like making your life like that. I'm almost being shown like, the decor of like Alice in Wonderland and like the topsy-turvy like mugs and things like that, like making your home that kind of wonderland for you, whatever that means, that art for you, that, you know, that color for you, like bringing color to your home, because I feel like that will really inspire you when you wake up in the morning, to really be that, so you can have that reflection of your inner world on the outside, so you can get inspired by it, or maybe hang your art up on the walls, or hang art up on the walls, or quotes and things like that that really inspire you. It's a message from your spirit guide here. With Wolverine, you're a lot tougher than you think you are. I feel like maybe some of you guys are like, you have like a project or an idea in your brain, but then you're almost like, well, this has never been done, so I don't know if I can do it. Or you may have like Saturn in the 11th house or something like that, where you may just feel like you don't have the support of people around you, or people don't quite get you. But the reference here is, don't dim your light to fit in, because the more you shine out, the more you're then attracting like-minded individuals. Like we have here with the meerkat, get support from a trusted group of like-minded friends. If you can't see anyone like-minded around you right now, hold your frequency and the right people will step forward. Don't dim for other people to get you. Just be you, and the right people are gonna take their place. And don't worry about who falls away, because when something falls away, it's because something else is taking its place. And that's a strong message from your this spirit guide coming through here. And then with the ladybug, this is a time of good fortune and abundance, so be willing to receive all good things in your life. I just feel like there's like almost like $1 million idea in your brain that's waiting to kind of be planted. And I'm being told to talk about, I don't know who the guy was that created Avatar, but as you guys know, Avatar is one of my favorite movies of life. And when he actually created Avatar, he couldn't make the movie straight away because they didn't even have the technology for it. But he still created the script for it. He kept it in his drawer, and he went on to do other movies and kind of create through other movies and build up his resume until there was a foundation for him to build Avatar, which cost him loads because of the CGI and all of that. So there's this reference of like having this idea, and even if you can't do something about it right now, maybe financially wise or something like that, again, remember how I referenced Taurus? Going into that Taurus energy and looking at what you can build in the meantime, and where you can bring that creation outward in the meantime until it takes you to that creation. Because I'm being shown like the stars in the sky, they look, you know, impossible to reach from the earth down, but say now we built a step and a step and a step, like and a step, we'd be able to reach that thing in the sky if we just kept building that step upwards and upwards and upwards. So there's a reference of that. And just because you're working on the ground level doesn't mean that it has to be black and white. You can bring creation and abundance to that, and magic to that as well. And I feel like that's something the spirit guide is helping you do, build a foundation laced in art and color to bring you to your fullest potential in this lifetime, and whatever that means for you. And I feel like that's what this spirit guide's doing for you in this lifetime, and helping you work through, because there's something you are really here to create. And maybe it's a journey where you'll meet your soul tribe, and then you're able to build with your soul tribe what it is you're bringing in. That's something that's coming through as well. Let me pull some more cards. Pop that one there, actually, it'll fit in, just so I can get the other cards through. Pile number 3, please, spirit guides. What spirit guides are around my pile number 3s? What spirit guides are around my pile 3s? And why? Oracle, wait for important information. I feel like you receive downloads, and I feel like that helps with your creations. But I'm being told that anytime you're feeling stuck, It's not actually that you're stuck, because you're such a creator. You're always in the energy of giving and projecting out. So when you're feeling stuck, it's actually a call in for you to fall back a second and wait for information or guidance or inspiration. So if you are hitting a writer's block or a grey area right now, it's a call to fill up your tank and be in the energy of receiving, so that you can receive the downloads of where you're about to go, or the new bits of information of where you're about to step to next. Anytime that there feels like a drought of magic, it's not that there's a drought of magic, it's just that something's transforming, and you're having your you're in that state of receiving to receive downloads and have that inspiration filled back up, you know. And remember that it's a journey. Like, I love, because again, it's like Alice in Wonderland I'm being shown, and I feel like when you even watch like Alice in Wonderland, you look at like the way she's moving through. I'm thinking of the Disney version, the first version with Disney. Well, not the first version, but the first movie version, I guess. And when you look at like every character she meets, they're so different to the other, but they're so uniquely tailored to her experience that she's going through. And I'm being told, like, trust every pit stop, trust every person that you meet is going to teach you something, and whether it's about yourself or what not to do, like, trust this process, because if it was just from beginning to end, what would be the point of the story? You know what I mean? Like, when you watch a movie and they're like, well, why didn't they just do this? Why didn't they just do that? Well, it wouldn't be a movie if they just did that, you know? Like, my mother will always say, well, why didn't she just decide this from the beginning? And I'm like, well, there would be no plot and no story. The movie wouldn't even be made, you know? So it's a movie, it's a story, and allow yourself to wonder, because that's where inspiration comes from, is the message from this spirit guide and what they're kind of teaching you. And I feel like when you are back in that receiving energy and you are receiving new bits of information, I feel like it's this spirit guide that brings that to you. It's 33 on the clock because I'm looking at it as well, but I feel like it's the spirit guide that brings information to you. I feel like you're quite connected to this particular spirit guide. Very fiery, and wants you to stand in your own passions and fire, and it's like, be that fireball. Even if people don't get it, you need to believe that your source is like good enough. Like I always say, trust your own source, believe in your own source, because whoever doesn't get it, it's because it's not for them. You know what I mean? But by believing in it and knowing that it's great, other people are going to then see it and align with it. And it's not even that other people need to see it, it's that you need to see it. Is that you need to believe in your own creation. You need to believe that you can do it. You need to believe that that's an expression of you, and an authentic expression of you. Oh God, that card just jumped out. Yeah, I feel like your heart's got to be with everything that you do, because you put your heart into everything. And I feel like maybe you get a little bit disheveled if people don't appreciate, you know, a piece of creation that is you. It almost makes you feel a little misunderstood. And I feel like this guide's teaching you that you don't need to be understood. Just you being you and creating is you being an authentic expression, which is what we're here to do. We're not here to gain the approval of others or have other people understand every corner of our being, because quite frankly, human beings are so perplexed, so complex. It's just not going to happen, especially with someone like you with so much color. It's like, you just gotta create, you know what I mean? And people will, you know, create their own meaning to it. We have warrior here, be fearless and stand strong. This being feels very fearless, and I love that it's come through with you're a lot tougher than you think. And then I was being shown sword and stone at the beginning with the sword here, like this literally what's coming through. This guide is helping you stand in the authenticity that you are and not waver because of what can't be comprehended by others. I feel like that's what this being's helping you do right now. Very much at the forefront, because I feel like there's something you're on to or working on, or even, you know, in full swing of. Yeah, I feel like the Knight of Wands is almost them representing like they're watching over you, because it's like looking over the spread. We have their the Shaolin Master, be graceful in movement and action. We have that here as well. I just feel like, who sang that? Who sang Whistle While You Work? Was that Snow White with the Seven Dwarfs? Because it's like, you may be looking at like the practical side of like a business idea or something like that and going, oh, that's gonna be boring, I don't know whether I want to do it. But there's a reference of like whistle while you work, like bring magic to the work that you're doing, bring magic to your life in everything that you're doing. It doesn't have to be the way other people are telling you for it to be black and white. Like bring creation to it, bring abundance to it, bring color to it. Romanticize it if you have to. Is a message from your spirit guide right now. So that's what I have for you, Path 3. I really hope that this reading resonated for you, and I really hope that you enjoyed. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if it did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey Path 4, welcome to your reading. So today we're taking a look at what spirit guides are around you and why. So you guys chose the amethyst apple. I'm going to place that up in the corner right here, and we're going to get straight in, starting with tarot, and then we'll move on to your oracle cards. Straight away, guys, I was really, when I was tapping into your collective, I was being put on like, I was being shown an emphasis on the hair. I was being shown someone either with really long hair, or just that there's an emphasis on the hair, that it helps connect you. How do I explain this? It's almost like it helps connect you psychically or to your physical body to be able to clairsentiently pick up on your surroundings. Bear with me as I explain this. Obviously, when we channel from the crown chakra, and that's where our hair grows. And there's just this essence of you guys like picking up a lot of energy with your hair, or not wanting to cut your hair very much. And when you do cut your hair, it's like you may feel a little out of sorts for a couple of days, or there's just like a strong sacredness with your hair that's either coming ancestrally or it's coming from past lives. And I feel like it's something to do with the spirit guides that are around you, but there's something to do with the hair. And I'm being told before I even begin, like, you guys, when you go out into public or around people, because your hair soaks up a lot of energy, to make sure that you're either cleansing your hair, you know, maybe with some Florida water there, or just cleansing it with water, or like saging when you come home, or just like making sure that your hair is covered or your crown is covered in ways. I have to do that with my crown. I have to wear like hats and stuff if I go places where there's like a lot of people. So there's a reference of that, getting head wraps or something to protect your crown, because that's something that came through straight away. It's just like why you pick up on a lot of energy is what I'm being told. So that was just something that wanted to come through. So pile number 4, please, spirit guides. Pile number 4. I don't know if ancestrally you're connected to like indigenous tribes, or maybe it's like past life, but whatever the case, there's a lot of that around you. And I'm picking up a lot of like sacredness to the earth and Mother Gaia, because I'm literally feeling my feet in soil. Like I'm literally feeling my feet in the soil, but it's like it's like even with my feet I'm like picking up energy from the earth in general. So I feel like that would have been done by your ancestors that are around you, or spirit guides that would have been part of certain indigenous tribes in their time, that are around you, walking with you right now, because it's something that I'm picking up really, really strongly. I'm also being shown somebody with a hand in water, and really understanding water and how it can carry memories and speak into the water. It's like the 4 elements in Mother Gaia itself. A lot of you guys, I do feel, may work with Mother Gaia, like she may be a deity that works with you, or you may call out to her, or you may find that she's coming up in your mind's eye, or she's coming up like and manifesting physically around you right now in a way to like work with you. That'll only register for some of you, but whoever that's registering with, like, that's something that's coming through, because I feel like whether it's past life or whether it's just ancestrally, you do have a very strong connection to the earth, and it's something that it just radiates from you anyway. And I feel like you're learning to either get back to your roots or to expand on what you already know with that, and that's an energy that's around you in regards to spirit guides, but obviously we're going to get deeper. So pile number 4, what spirit guides are around my pile number 4 right now? Yeah, I do feel in ways a lot of you guys, this may be ancestral. The reason I'm saying that as well is because I'm being shown in the Avatar movie, they go to the Tree of Souls, and the Tree of Souls, each like vine and each kind of like leaf that's kind of like hanging from the tree, it has the memory and the energy of the ancestors. And as Naturi and Jake kind of step into that tree and they listen, you can hear them singing, and it's like that echoing sound of their souls coming through. They're able to tap into it with that tree. And Naturi turns to Jake and she's like, they live, Jake, they live in Awa. They live in, I guess Awa is like the Mother Gaia, so they live with Mother Gaia. And there's like an essence of that, like tuning into your ancestors, or even the people just before you, through connecting to Mother Gaia, because water carries memories. And I don't know if I feel like you may have been in piles, what I've mentioned. There was an Akashic record reading I did where there was a pile connecting to Mother Gaia, and there was my Lemurian, Avalon and Atlantis pick a card that I did that was also connecting to Mother Gaia. And what I was explaining in those piles, which I feel you may have been a part of, is that what I was shown as messages that are coming through right now as well, is that every plant, every rock on earth, we can tap into the memory of like where it came from and receive messages. And I feel like you have that innate connection to earth, that you'd be able to do it a lot more easier. There was a pile where I was being shown back in the day, someone reading leaves like they would the palms of a hand, and reading the leaves to understand where to go next, or what the energy of that grid of where they were at right then, like what was really going on, and being able to understand. So there's an essence of that coming through as well. But also with that energy from Avatar, and when she says they live within Awa, it's that reference of our ancestors that walk before us live within Mother Gaia, and we can connect to them through Mother Gaia because she's been here long before us. And this water, it holds cellular memories. We can speak to the water and ask it to reveal to us if we, through maybe scrying, sitting with a bowl of water and scrying and looking at the water and seeing what comes through, or maybe just sitting in there and see what messages kind of like channel through in a state of receptivity in a pond or a lake or a sea, and seeing what comes through, or even putting your feet on the ground and seeing what comes through, or holding on to trees that have been here long before us and seeing what messages they have. There's such an essence of that I feel your spirit guides right now are kind of guiding you to come back into the physical body, because the physical body in itself has a higher consciousness. And we forget that, and a lot of human beings are disconnected to that. And I feel like that's something that you're either here to do in this lifetime, or it's just a new phase of your life that you're learning to tap into, to really be able to understand the sacredness of this earth that we're on. And these ancestors, these souls that are around you, would have understood that too. And they would have either been in past lives where they learned it with you, or they were guides to you in those lives, or again, ancestors. That's what's coming through. So let's get some cards down and then I'll continue. I'm also being told like herbal medicine and things like that. I'm being taken to like a very like botanical influence. I'm being shown a lot of plants, and I'm being shown, again, it's like herbology and things like that coming through. Understanding the sacredness of the physical body and Mother Gaia, and even animals as well. There's a strong emphasis on animals, and understanding nature cycles as well. I feel like that's something that they're teaching you right now. I'm being shown mountains, if that's anything that's significant, like literal mountains. They're coming through, and I'm being shown them. I'm actually being shown a group of people like hiking up a mountain. But it seems like back in the day, it feels like a tribe hiking up a mountain. It's just something that I was just shown. Pile number 4. What spirit guides are around my pile number 4s right now? And I love as well, we're talking about like plants and Mother Gaia, and obviously, Mother Gaia gives us fruit and all of that, and you literally chose the one crystal that's shaped like a fruit. Like, that's quite funny that came out. Pile number 4. Pile number 4, please, spirit guides. What spirit guides are around my pile number 4s right now? 6 of Wands. I'm being really taken to like Native American, like I'm literally being shown images, and I'm being shown yeah, I'm being shown like chiefs, like Native American. I'm being shown the feathers and everything. I'm literally being shown that. So for some of you guys, you do have ancestors that were Native American or guides around you that were Native American, because that's coming through as well. I just showed you Aruba. Pile number 4. Oh god, 8 of Swords. Pile number 4. Yeah, I literally just showed you Aruba and it just comes up in my mind's eye. Nothing's coming through with it. I'm just being shown Yoruba, and I'm being shown someone with lots of jewelry, but then I'm also being shown like body. I feel like in one of your lifetimes you would have been really connected to like body art and body paint. Apologies for the motorbike outside, guys, but I feel like you would have been connected to like body paint, body art. Yeah, and I just see somebody stood there like creating art on their body with like body paint and things. That's something that's coming through as well. And I feel like it's something that in those lifetimes, when you were creating that body paint or whatever tribe you were coming from that was doing that, it's funny because you're very connected to the earth in that lifetime, but then I'm being shown in that lifetime you would have also been channeling from the higher realms, because I feel like the images and the art and the paint that you're like creating on your body, these swirls you're creating on your body, you're channeling what would have already been engraved on your body in a different starseed element, if you believe in starseeds. The reason I'm saying that is because I channeled Syrian starseeds before, and in their own manifestation of what a physical body would be, they had these markings that almost looked like tattoos over the body, and I'm being shown like a tribe channeling that and mimicking it on their own physical body with paint. That's literally something that's coming through. I'm being taken to like African tribes when I say that, though, as if you would have remembered that from like Sirius A, Sirius B, and then mimic that through channeling. And each paint that you create over your body, it means something. It's a form of art. It has a coding in it. There's like something about that coming through. So some of you guys may be like tattoo artists in this lifetime as well, because that's something, or you may just really like tattoos and the coding of tattoo. That'll only be for some of you, but that's something that's coming through as well. What spirit guides are around my pile number 4? Oh, am I using them? No. What spirit guides are around my pile number 4s? What spirit guides are around my pile number 4s right now, and why? What spirit guides are around my pile number 4s and why? What spirit guides are around my pile number 4s and why? I keep being shown Capricorn, Capricorn, Capricorn. I keep being shown that. 3 of Pentacles. And the back of the deck, we have the 7 of Pentacles. Okay, so there's almost like either a longing or a memory within your own soul that remembers in this incarnation, or it's just the energy and the hurt of maybe like ancestors that you're feeling, where there's almost this feeling of like, I remember a time, or I can tap into my spirit guides and they remember a time, because I feel like their ancestors, or that they're definitely beings that would have walked the earth before, but it's like, I remember a time when we were so connected to the physical body and the earth. We were so connected to nature's cycles. We understood what animals already know, and we were able to move through the world as such. There's a feeling of like, I remember that, but then there's also a sorrow looking at the world now, and where we are with this 8 of Swords and the 5 of Pentacles, and almost looking like we've almost been cut off by the root and been plugged into something else, plugged into a machine, plugged into social media, and we've forgotten, like, it's okay if there was a balance to it, but we have forgotten the sacredness of our temples, the sacredness of the foods that are being grown that we can eat. We've forgotten the sacredness of having a tribe around us and connecting like that. We've forgotten the sacredness of Mother Gaia. We've forgotten the sacredness of our animal brothers and sisters. Like, we've forgotten that. And I feel like your ancestors, your spirit guides that are around you right now, are almost ushering you to help bring yourself back to the root and back into this physical world to guide others to do the same, so that they can reconnect with their roots. Because by reconnecting with our roots, we are able to understand the power of our beings and the power of Mother Gaia, and we then won't feel as lost as I guess a lot of us are feeling, because we're understanding nature's cycles and we're plugging back in. We're disconnected to that right now, and it's like we're kind of catapulting away from that right now. And I feel like your spirit guides are almost initiating you or calling you to connect back to that sacredness of your own temple and the sacredness of Mother Gaia to then guide others. That's something that's really strongly coming through, because we have the Three of Pentacles here. It's like we're out in the cold. We've forgotten where we come from. Yes, we are connected to the higher realms. Yes, we are connected to spirit. But what's the point in ascending without being grounded? By ascending without being grounded, we're escaping the world and the real world where we're at. We need to ground to be able to bring the higher realms to earth, not running away from earth to the higher realms, because that's not even why we incarnated. We need to bring the higher realms to earth by planting ourselves and grounding. So there's this reference of we've lost our way in ways, but with the Three of Pentacles, it's like you holding that frequency and you planting yourself back and grounding and remembering the sacredness and the magic that is all around us. You are then able to hold that space for others to do the same with the Three of Pentacles, and you are then planting seeds. Because when we look at the Pentacles here, especially with the Seven of Pentacles, he's planting these seeds and he's waiting for them to grow, and there's like an essence of that coming through. And there's something about either you are going to be feeling like, or already have felt like, switching up your diet to foods that align with you more. And there's no judgment either way. Whatever works for your body, make sure you're listening to your body and what works for you, instead of just doing what people deem as spiritual or morally right. Like, and what I mean by that is whatever feels right for your physical body. Don't cut things out that you're not ready to yet. Do it bit by bit if you feel like it. But there's this essence of really listening to your body, like, okay, what do I want? What do I need to eat? What will be right for me? And understanding what the physical body wants, because your physical body is conscious and will speak to you through energy. When you eat something and it doesn't agree with your body, oh, I don't like that. Like, for example, with me, I can't eat meat. It's too dense for my body. I have to eat light, and I have to keep my body very light in order to keep my channel clear, to be able to channel messages from the light. Like, that's what I have to do. Whereas someone that would need to build muscle, because in this lifetime they need to do like physical labor and things like that, they may need protein and things like that. So there's a reference of like listening to your body and understanding. And I feel like there's an initiation with your spirit guides as well, of you turning back into your body and listening to it and comforting it. Okay, what do I like to eat? What feels right for me? What makes me feel good? And not even just the foods that you're eating, but what you may be putting on your skin. You know, what environment you're in. When you think of plants, when they're not in the right environment, they wither. So even that, just listening to the physical body. And I feel like your spirit guides are initiating you through that, and initiating you back to the land of your ancestors is literally what I'm being told. And I feel like, especially right now, when I feel like they're almost ushering you to nature and ushering you to simplicity, where there's a lot less like technology and things like that. I feel like you may be feeling like a calling to maybe turn off social media and be in nature, be grounded with Mother Gaia, be connected to source in that way, and seeing the creation of the universe just on Mother Gaia alone. That's something that I feel like a lot of you guys may be feeling called to. I'm also being told some of you guys may be called to get certain pets right now, or like you may be really called to like have, maybe it's like fish in your home, or maybe it's like a hamster in your home, or a bunny in your home, or I don't know, just something. I just keep feeling like I want to be surrounded by plants, and I want to be surrounded by animals, and I want to be surrounded by, you know, it almost feels like-minded individuals, and that's the animal kingdom. Like, that's how I feel. It's like restoring that connection, and really, there's almost this feeling like, this is how they're making me feel. I want to go out into a forest and watch how the birds move and maneuver, and tap into that, and watch how they do it. I'm showing somebody just looking at like a little grasshopper on a leaf, or like a little spider, and just watching the way that they move, and really, you know, connecting to that, and watching that, and just being in that groundedness of just right in that moment and watching what they're doing. There's something that about that I either feel you're being called to do or you will be called to do, because that's how they're making me feel. And it's reminding me of the Colors of the Wind song, Pocahontas, when she goes into the forest and she's like, you know, talking about, she says, I know every rock and tree and creature has a life, has a spirit, has a name. So there's a reference of that and remembering that. And I think everybody on earth should remember that, and remember that we're, you know, living on sacred land that has so much to offer and teach us, yet we're ignorant to it every day. And I feel like you're becoming aware of it, and that's what your spirit guides and ancestors are calling you to right now, which I think is really really beautiful. So let's pull some oracle cards and go deeper. Let me pull these. Which ones? Yeah, I'll pull these ones first. So pile, I feel like for your pile specifically, the oracle decks I pulled out are perfect. I pulled the animal oracle cards. I can't remember the name of them. Animal spirit. No, not animal spirit. Animal oracle cards, and then the ancestor and angel and ancestors oracle. I feel like they're perfect for your pile in particular, to be honest with you. Pile number 4. There's something about bulls. That's a totem for you as well. Bulls. Yeah, I'm literally being shown a bull, like the bull horns as well, if that's a reference or a totem that you've been working with. Your 2 cards flew away from me, so I'm gonna go grab them 2 seconds. Am I using these? Yeah. So we have the bull. Face your problems head on with confidence and courage, and you will emerge victorious. And we have the blue heron. Make a stand for what you believe in and do what feels right in spite of any judgment or disapproval from others. Okay, I'll channel these now. Let me just take a look at the back of the deck. The back of the deck, you have the penguin. The period of darkness that you've been experiencing is now passing. Have you been clearing out karma to connect you back to your root? Like, there's almost a feeling like you may have had trouble connecting into your root before because maybe there was karma there. Maybe you felt more comfortable in the higher realms because it felt safer to you. And maybe you've alchemized a lot of what was keeping you out of your physical body. And now you're stepping into your physical body to really bring all of the wisdom that you've already tapped into anyway, it feels, down into the physical, to be able to see Mother Gaia at a higher level, at a higher consciousness. Like, there's a feeling of you doing some sort of shadow work or alchemy to feel safe in your root chakra and feel safe in the present moment. Maybe you weren't always like that, because that's what I'm picking up with the penguin card. This period of darkness that you've been experiencing is now passing. It's like you may have been going through a shadow period of releasing constraints to your physical body, where you would have felt more comfortable in the higher realms. So maybe you didn't realize the sacredness that was around you because of fears that were limiting you from really fully being integrated into your root chakra. I feel like that's something that you might have been doing, but I'm being told that as I tap into you now, you're being placed back comfortably into your root chakra, not by anyone. You're doing it yourself, and you're starting to open up to the wonders of the world. Even though I feel like you've always been tapped into it, I feel like now you're able to really fully appreciate it while you're appreciating the physical body and the temple that you're in. So with the bow card, face your problems head on with confidence and courage, and you will emerge victorious. I feel like that's something that you've already been doing, and I feel like there's almost this feeling of your ancestors, your spirit guides here, kind of like guiding you home. I feel like you've always been at one with nature. I feel like you've always been connected to this energy, but I feel like there's been distortions, whether it was just karma that you were working through, or fears. I feel like this set of spirit guides have been guiding you home, bringing you back to your essence. And then with the blue heron up next, then make a stand for what you believe in and do what feels right in spite of any judgment or disapproval from others. There's almost this essence of like maybe in the past you got caught up and swayed with this is how I'm being shown, right? I'm being shown like a branch that's come off a tree, and it's kind of like flowing with the wind and being taken with the wind. And I'm being told in the past, because you have so much empathy and you have such a big heart, I feel like you would just send that out everywhere, because that's just you wanting to heal and wanting to implement that love. And I feel like people may have taken advantage of that, or you may have got caught up in the hustle and bustle of life, just by your beautiful heart and your emotions, you having that so open, that you would have got caught up maybe giving to people a lot, or doing what others wanted instead of forgetting who you were at your essence. And I'm almost being told, like, I'm being shown this little like branch that's been flowing in the wind. It's almost like being grabbed by your ancestors and your spirit guides, and I feel like you've slowly intuitively followed yourself back home to be planted into the earth. And I feel like that twig is kind of transmuted, you know, that this seed is kind of like transmuted, and I feel like it's grown this tree, and now I'm being shown this tree that's still able to sway with the wind and move with the wind and connect to like the air and all of that. However, it's rooted into the physical. You now have a purpose. You now have a baseline of where your heart's supposed to go, and I feel like you have so much compassion for people, but I feel like there's an energy of like you directing that hearty space and that beautiful energy to your own physical being, to Mother Gaia herself, and animals and just people and their own physical bodies and their essence, to kind of guide them in some way back to their own root. I feel like that's kind of like a journey that you've been on, to come back into your physical essence. So with the make a stand, it's almost like you're finding a new purpose now, or finding a purpose that was always there, but now it's being rooted, and that's a journey that you're going on. And they're not giving me like they're not telling me, okay, this is now their purpose, because I feel like it's almost like a little intuitive path that you're now walking on, of where you want to go next and where you want to take this wisdom and where you want to take that. But it's going to be rooted in like earthy, in an earthy substance of the higher consciousness of Gaia, or the physical body, or animals, or something like that. It's something coming through to do with that. I'm also being told you work really well with like herbs. You can speak to herbs, because there was a pile I did, and it's the same message coming through, so I know you would have been from that pile. It was either the Akashic record reading, or it was the Lemuria Avalon reading that I did. And I was being told that when you are able, from a hearty sense, to be able to connect to Mother Gaia and connect to the earth and speak that language of the universe naturally, which I feel you do, when you do speak to herbs and plants and water, it naturally will listen to you and walk with your words and align with your words, because you're speaking its language. And I feel like you've always spoken the language of the heart. You've always spoken the language that I feel animals and nature is already connected to anyway. So there's almost this command in essence that you naturally have anyway, that you would have tapped into in other lifetimes, or it's just coming through from your ancestral line that's already encoded within your being to be able to do anyway. So when you're manifesting, I feel like using herbs, or even using herbs to cleanse and things like that, I feel like they'd work super, super well for you, because your energetic makeup is already designed to work with them. It's like it goes hand in hand. That's something that's coming through from your spirit guide. It's a very beautiful earthy energy coming through. Like your spirit guides and your ancestors, they feel like old souls, and I feel like you are, and I feel like it goes very far back. Whether your connection with these spirit guides goes far back, or it's like your ancestral line goes really far back, and all that magic's still encoded within you, I'm being told. Either way, pile number, because some of you guys, like, you would have been around like Lemuria and Avalon times incarnating, and that's why there's such a strong essence and connection to Mother Gaia. Pile number 4. I hope I've been getting my words out properly today. I ate like right before I went to sleep last night, which I know not to do. And obviously when you eat right before bed, your body overnight is kind of like breaking that down, and your body doesn't really rest and sleep. So then this morning I slept in, and I just feel so tired today, like I didn't sleep. So like, even though I'm opening up and I'm still channeling, it's like I can feel my physical body, like I'm tired. So I'm like, I only had one pile to do today, so I was like, okay, that's okay. I'll be able to clear it out for just my pile 4s. But I hope that I was able to explain everything properly, because sometimes I'm like, oh, I hope. Pile number 4, we have choose your path, direction, guardian. I feel like your spirit guides right now with choose your path, you know, like I was saying, they're telling me not to give you a direct answer as to like what path you're walking on now in regards to connecting to that higher consciousness of Gaia, the physical body, and all of that. That's what we literally have here. I feel like they're aligning you with your higher self and aligning you with again, it's like your Akashic records, like who you truly are at your core, so that you can choose the path that you're about to walk on. I feel like you're learning where you want to go on a new part of your mission right now. It's like another seed being planted that you're learning right now, and that's why these spirit guides are around you to help kind of guide you. I feel like they would have been with you from the beginning. And I don't feel like they're ever going to leave. We have guides that'll come and go. We have guides that'll stay for a short period and leave, whereas it's almost like a bunch of souls collectively coming together. But I just feel like they would have been here from birth, and they'll be here when you pass. It's always there. It's always within, you know, it's always around you, I'm being told. Pile number 4. What spirit guides are around my pile number 4s right now? Oh, your card's just falling on the floor. Your cards have been leaping out of my hand, to be fair. Do you have a lot of air in your chart? I don't know, it's just my cards are just leaping. We have protection, guardian, drop your shields. Yeah, there's almost this essence of like in the past, you may have been fearful of just the physical world in general, like the hustle and bustle, the 9-to-5s, the matrix, the social media. Like it may have just been too much, and you may have just gone into your own being, whereas you're being called now that you're rooting back into your physical body to open up to the wonders of the world and the earth. Like it's something that you're being called to kind of like open up to right now, pile number 4. That's why we have drop your shields. There's a strong, with the protection guardian, there's a strong sense of like you are very protected on this journey, very protected. I feel like these souls are around you so close, and they're showing me like walking with you, like literally walking with you. Yeah, I'm literally being shown someone like, I don't know why I'm being shown like shamanic drums. I feel like that sound would be really soothing for you, or even if you have your own shamanic drums, I feel like that sound would just like, even just playing them, I feel like that would really ground you. And that's something that's coming through. But I just see you like walking like barefoot connected to Mother Gaia, and these drums playing in the background, and then I'm just being shown like a collective of souls kind of like walking with you like that. I am being told for some of you guys to drink more water. That's something that's really coming through. Make sure you're drinking water. Make sure you're being hydrated. There's something about bringing yourself as well back to simplicity. Like when you look at like how they used to eat back in the day, like they did not have peanut butter cups and all of these, you know, adjectives and food colorings. And there's almost an essence of like coming back to like the roots of even how you would eat. I don't know whether that's something you're being called to do or not, but that's something that's coming through as well. Like I'm thinking of like all these foods you can use to cleanse, and they're like, what about just good old water? Like because I like will use like celery juice to cleanse, and there's this feeling of like, what about just water? What about how water can cleanse us when we speak to the water and it can cleanse us? There's like an essence of that coming through. I feel like you're coming back to a simplicity of all things to build something more in harmony with the physical world and with your physical body. I love that. I actually love that. So let's see the back of the deck. We have Star Ancestor, and I was saying this feels like ancestors here. Follow the voice of your soul. But you see how it says Star Ancestor, and I was saying at the beginning about like the body paint and how they were channeling from like Syrian beings, and it said that Syrian starseeds helped create like ancient Egypt, and it said that people that would meditate, and you know, the Egyptian gods and goddesses and people that would connect to spirit back in the day were connecting to like Syrian beings and beings like that. They were what helped create Egypt. It's said, you don't have to believe it if you don't want to, but it is said that. So the fact that it says star ancestor, even the Native Americans, you know, connected to the seven sisters, which was the Pleiades, you know, they were always connected to that star energy and bringing it to the physical. And I feel like you're just getting back to the roots of it. I feel like you've already mastered that part of channeling. It's just bringing it into the physical now is something that you're doing, which is what a lot of these ancient tribes did. You know what I mean? All over the world, that's what they did. And I feel like you're getting back to the root of that, which I literally love. Like, that's so beautiful. And I feel like that's what your spirit guides are around you, guiding you through and helping you with, just like they would have done when you were incarnated in other lifetimes, or like your ancestors would have done back in the day. There's also a feeling like I am my own ancestor. Like, I would have incarnated generations back, and now I'm incarnating as a descendant. Like, there's a feeling of that too, coming through into the same kind of like line. So that's something that came through as well. But I love how that came out at the back to end the reading, bringing the energy of the High Priestess into the physical to create the Empress. Like, that's something that I feel like you're doing, and that's what your guides are kind of aligning you with and walking through life with you, to integrate. I feel like that's what they're doing. And my text, I just got a text come through on my phone, so if you heard that, I feel like that was for like, yes. So on that note, that's a reading that I have for you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if this resonated for you. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching.